Okay, so we're going to talk about the ship via list. So when we come in here to list, down to customer vendor profile list, and we have our ship via list. Now the ship via list is a free type field, right? So if you think about what it's used for, what it's meant to be used for, it's meant to be used to tell either on a purchase transaction, meaning a PO, or on a sales transaction, how we will be shipping this product out. So I can come in here and create a new one. So let's say we have UPS second day, right, as a shipping method option. I added in there, it's just a free type field. Now it's a choice for me to use on these transactions. So again, on a purchase order, if you don't see the ship via field on there, you just have to edit your template to add it. You can add it to a PO so that we know how we're expecting it to be received in, or also so we can communicate to our vendors, right? Please ship this via USPS or UPS second day. It also is used on sales type transactions. So if we come in here, so it's in the header field. If we come in here on a estimate, right? An estimate is, make sure to check out the video on estimates versus sales orders. But an estimate usually isn't dealing necessarily around products. So we don't have that field on here. But we do have it on the sales order, right? I have my customized data layout, and I can add in my ship via there, as well as on my sales transactions, etc. So, my invoice transactions. So this field is pretty powerful, right? It communicates to the shipping department how we're going to ship this out if we're going to use it that way. But because that field, for some reason, right, in QuickBooks, this field is set up to be used on reports quite heavily as well. So if I look at my company and financial and I go into a profit and loss as an example, and I want to total my columns, like, right, we total our columns by month, by quarter, by class, by sales rep. But one of the methods we can do is choose by shipping method. It doesn't say by ship via, but it's a field called shipping method. So I can see, right, how much I've sent out via, UPS versus USPS versus whatever other methods I use. Okay, so that can be helpful perhaps when you're trying to, let's say you're trying to renegotiate your contract with FedEx, right? And so you say, well, FedEx, I used you guys 25% of the time, but I have 75% of my business going to UPS. What are you going to do for me with rates so that I can bring 100% of my business over to you? Right? Those kinds of things. So you can use it. It would be helpful, especially if shipping is a big cost in your business, right? It's important to keep track of. However, for some customers, that ship via field, they don't ship anything out. So as an example, I have a construction company and they don't really ship out product. But this ship via field, since it's there, we're going to use it in a different way, right? So not only can I total my columns on a P&L by it, but I can also come in and I can filter by it. As an example, I can go in into custom transaction detail reports and I can total by it, right? Total by shipping method. So in a construction company, one time I was working with them and they were large, of course, enterprise customers. They had the need to track sales transactions by sales rep. And obviously we have a sales rep field. Okay, so we use that for sales reps. But they said we also need project managers, and I have to have project managers on here. And so what did we do? We went in, and they didn't care about it on the purchase side. They just cared about it on the sales side, so the sales type transactions. So at the invoice level, we renamed on the template. Instead of calling it via, we called it manager or PM. Okay. And then, of course, instead of saying USPS, etc., we had, John Smith, Joe, Sally, etc. So all their PMs. So since that field was there, right, when they went in and they ran the report, and we had to set it up a couple times for them, but they ran the report, they totaled it by shipping method, and then it would show in there P&L by project manager. So we got to the report that they were trying to get to by using that ship via field. Now, of course, when I set it up for them originally, I set it up. So let's rename on this real quick. Ship via, let's rename USPS to say Sally. Oops. And then we'll rename FedEx to say Joe. Okay. So that way I can come in here and let's change one of these to say Joe. Oh, I turned on sales tax in one of our previous videos. Okay. So now I can break out, right? So I have income by Joe and income by Sally. I could also do things like, sales by customer detail reports. I want to filter it by, and again, I have to remember to use the ship via field. When you filter it, it doesn't say method, it says ship via. I have to remember to use the ship via field, but I can filter, right, by that as well. Okay, so that field has become very important, right? We've turned it from being a field that, ship method, ship via, that we're not going to use, and we turned it into an important field that we can use so that we can get some of the extra reporting we need. Now, of course, there are other options, right? We can set up custom fields and things like that, but again, it's a field that's already there. It's a lot easier to use that field. You just have to remember, shipping method, because you can't edit, right? I can't edit the terminology right here. I can edit it on the template, but I have to remember shipping method is really my PMs. So anyway, that's one of the ways that we've used ship via in the past in a way that's not meant to be used, but it works. All right, good luck.